Well, we've got ourselves another EV, and for 20 points of winter you can go ahead and grab yourself the Lucid Air Sapphire, even though it looks nothing like a Sapphire. This thing has got a whopping 1,247 brake horsepower motor, it has 1,411 foot-pounds of torque, and it weighs 5,298 pounds. This thing is very hefty. It also looks definitely, I'd say, interesting. I'm not sure that I'm on board with like this weird front light thing. I don't know what it is. I just kind of don't like it. It doesn't really suit the car very well. It also kind of reminds me a little bit of the front of the Lincoln Co. Side profile's not too bad. When going to the back, we've got a light that stretches all the way across the back of the car, and a pretty decent looking little wing as well, which also just so happens to be carbon fibre. Going to the inside, we've got everything that we need on this little screen thing just here, and now let's go ahead and take a listen to the whopping zero engine, because this thing's electric. Let's just go listen. So going to upgrades, sadly there's really not much for us to take a look at. We've got ourselves aero and appearance, so we're going to of course have a look here. We've got some terrible looking Forza aero at the front, which didn't quite load for a second there. And then for the back, we've got a couple of options. We've got the almighty built from the ground up Forza wing, and the option to remove the carbon wing entirely. Okay then. We do also have the option to take this thing onto semi-slicks and all the way to full racing slick as well. And we have ourselves some drag tyres, so we'll be coming back to visit the drag scene in just a little bit. Going over to this whole sort of platform and handling, we're on race brakes already, and we can take this thing down to 4,105 pounds with a good old little bit of weight race reduction. And of course we are going to go ahead and make this thing a bit of a race build, but we've got a tune that's been created especially for us today, so I'm just going to go and find that. And here it is, the aptly named subscribe tune. Here is the share code. I'll just go ahead and load that a second so you can all have a look at that. There we go. Feel free to go ahead and download that tune as well. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same. So I'll be right back. So now going over to the paint shops, we've got nothing in advance. And how many manufacturer colours do we have? A whopping 1. That is very disappointing. Oh, and if you want to paint it, by the way, this is about as much as you can paint. So the Lucid Air Sapphire is a different, I guess, style of car. It's kind of like Tesla if Tesla were decent, you know? But to be honest, I'm still not a massive electric car person, so let's go ahead and see what we get out of this thing, and who knows, maybe I might have a different thought by the end of this video. I doubt it, but let's go ahead and have a look, shall we? And away we go. We are at the top of S1, and this thing is actually really speedy off the bat, because remember, of course, at 1,200 and something brake horsepower, and no brakes apparently, because we're down in 9th. Oops. Right, let's go ahead and just open up the throttle here and try and get past as many as we possibly can. Try and see if we can hit that also magic 200 mph mark in S1. Hopefully we can. I mean, to be fair, we're pretty close. Excuse me, move! Okay, into this turn, which we usually do fairly okay on. Let's just try and see if I can keep this car under control. And boot it! Absolutely floor it. Come on. Is that beamer in front of us? If it is, they're not going to be in front of us for very long. Hopefully. Please move. Oh, tight turns. This thing's enemy is tight turns. Oh, come on. That's an Audi out the way. Cool. You could say they are now Audi the way. No? Okay. I thought that was funny. Ah, come on, past the beamer, past the beamer. Hey, there we go. That took long enough. And now we get to open up the throttle of this thing. Hopefully we can try and keep it on the road. 95%. Now all we've got is just a massive long run over to the finish line and across we go. In fact, our tune creator, it was currently live streaming at the time when I was recording this, and we got a first place at a time of 2 minutes 32. It's all kicking off today. Okay, so here we are now back over at our wonderful little place, the good old upgrade shop, and I'm going to immediately start prepping this thing to go for a little bit of drag racing, just to go ahead and see what we can get out of this thing, because of course it is 1,200 brake horsepower, but it's also very heavy. So here we are now with 4,109 pounds, 1,247 horsepower, 19,500 credits worth of upgrades, and we're only sat 1 PI above where we started. Something tells me that's a little bit broken. And the cool thing is, we of course still have a gear to tune, which is pretty cool. I'm going to go and put it just about there for now, and I'm going to go and sort the rest out. So hopefully mean we'll get a decent sort of drag build out of this. Alright, here we are now over at the main festival, so let's go ahead and see. Do we get a wheelie check out of this thing? Not by doing that. Do we get it off launch control? Also no. Okay, there's no shady Super 7 card this time, so let's go ahead, line up, launch control, and away we go. Let's go ahead and see what we can get out of this thing. Of course, drag tyres, stupid amount of horsepower, very heavy. Hopefully we're going to get a decent speed out of this thing. I really, really hope so. Where's the camera? There it is. 199.3. And off the end of the motorway, it's 227. Well, motorway, runway, but 227. That is very disappointing. Like, seriously. However, now we're going to go ahead and slap back on some race springs and dampers, and we're going to throw it back on our road tyres as well. Let's see, what have we got? Should we go with full slick? I think we might have to. And now I have to go and tune this gear all the way across here in the hope that it actually has a decent top speed. However, before we do that, here's this week's Forzathon shop. We have got the RTR Drift Mustang number 88. We have got a helmet of a name I'm not going to try and say. We've got the falling car horn, which sounds a bit like this. Fantastic. We've got the Horizon Super Wheel Spin, the Mosler MT900S, and the Horizon Regular Wheel Spin. Alright, here we are now over at the edge of the motorway, so let's go ahead once again, get on launch control, and floor it! I said floor it. This is very anticlimactic. Like, seriously, I was really hoping for a better launch than that. And out of the speed zone at 270.43, and we still have our downhill and speed camera to go, but I got a feeling I think I know where our top speed's going to stay. And through the camera at 277.07, and going downhill 279 to get 280? Yes, we actually do, 280 out of this thing. I honestly don't know what to think, really. Not gonna lie, I do honestly wonder why we have so many EVs in game now. I know they're like becoming popular and whatnot, but I'd like something with an engine, please. You know, I understand it might be a very controversial take, but, you know, it's my take. Anyway, in the meantime, I've gone ahead and tweaked this thing, and now we're going to go ahead and drift in. Hopefully, it'll do well, because it's not done very well at drag racing, and trying to race it normally was an absolute pain. Anyway, let's go ahead and see, what do we get? 37,509 with not much sideways. That was mediocre at best. Alright, here we go again. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. A bit more sideways, please, car. Thank you very much. And now the other side, 40,278. Now that is more like it. Now, something that I mentioned earlier was the light that went all the way across the back, but it actually doesn't. Come on, they kind of missed a trick with that one. In the meantime, that is it for this video on the Lucid Air Sapphire. It's certainly something. And it is only 20 points, so if you want to go ahead and experiment with this thing, go ahead and get one for yourself. But honestly, I'd say it's more of a collector piece than anything else. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I'll go ahead and see you all in the next one. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And yeah, thanks for watching. Tech out. See ya. I wonder if someone's made a Duracell livery for this yet.